In this video, we're going to talk about not just collecting gear, but using the gear you have. Hey guys, this is Dr. McFarland and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, then please feel free to subscribe down below and click that bell icon so you'll be notified every time I release new content. Now, as you can hear from my voice, it's a little rough today, so just bear with me, okay? But this topic of collecting gear and using gear and how much gear should you actually buy is a concept that I've struggled with over the years. And I constantly move back and forth between recording gear and guitar gear and buying different amps and buying different pedals and guitars and audio interfaces and all kinds of stuff that I probably really didn't need at the time, but for the sake of just being different, or hey, I got some money laying around, so let's just buy some more gear. Well, a lot of times that can backfire and not really give you the results that you want. So let's go into the realm of guitars, for instance. Okay, do you have an acoustic guitar? Does it stay in tune and does it sound pretty good? And if you can answer those three things, you probably don't need a different acoustic guitar unless you just want something. Maybe you've always wanted a Martin or you've always wanted a Gibson, right? Well, kind of hone in on that one thing that you've always wanted and do what it takes to save up the money and buy that one acoustic guitar that's going to fulfill all your needs. If you're the kind of person that plays live, you probably want some kind of input on the end so you can plug in a 1/4 inch cable and go right into a direct box. And this particular acoustic is the Xavier from Guitar Fetish. The reason why I got this in the first place was I have a Sigma acoustic that I've had for over 20 years. It's been a long time. And the tuning started going bad and the frets were all out of shape. And instead of just putting more money into that same guitar and maybe replacing the frets or updating the electronics, I opted to just get a new guitar that I use all the time. That sounds great. I can use it for recording and pretty much anything else that I would need. And the next item that I've recently purchased was the Arturia Keylab 61. And this actually has faders and knobs and a really good feeling keyboard with touch sensitive keys and plenty of options that I would need to play piano and record synth and pads and strings and all kinds of other elements here in the studio. And before I actually had a Recital Pro 88 key keyboard, but I really wanted something with faders and knobs so that way I could eventually use it as a DAW controller if I needed to do that. So I opted to sell my other keyboard and then buy this one, which was actually a little bit cheaper. So I probably put about $100 in my pocket just by selling the other keyboard and buying a different keyboard. And let's talk about electric guitars real fast. I own about 5 different electric guitars right now. And one of them is the Sheraton from Epiphone. And I've had this for about 20 years. I used this when I was playing jazz at the community college. And you can really play anything with this. You can do jazz, rock, country, blues. And it's just a good all-around guitar. Now, would I actually want to sell this? No, because one, it has sentimental value to me. And then two, it literally can do everything. It sounds good. It's got great pickups in it. And it does everything that I need. And the next thing that I have here in the studio is the Roland TDK electronic drum kit. And what's great about this kit is I can use it to record with, I can use it for practice, I can use it to teach, and I opted for an electronic kit versus using an acoustic kit because it takes up less space, it's nowhere near as noisy. I can just throw on some headphones and do some silent practicing if I want to, and I don't have to use any microphones to get my drum sounds. I can use the electronic kit to record MIDI into the computer, and I can change the sounds to whatever I want via Steven Slate drums, or if I use Easy Drummer from Tune Tracks. And no matter what I use in the computer, I always know I'm going to get good drum sounds that I can alter later just by going into the MIDI and maybe quantizing or moving some things around to maybe fit the arrangement of the song a little bit better. And as far as amplifiers right now, I pretty much only have 2 amps. This is the Quilter Block Dock 10TC, and I chose to get the 101 mini reverb from Quilter, and it's basically a Fender Blackface-ish kind of sound. It's very simple in its controls, not a whole lot of knobs. It's got your gain, limiter, 3-band EQ, a reverb, and a master volume. And you can use a 4-cable method with this because it has an effects loop and it has a headphone out, so you can do silent practicing if you want to. And it's just a very, very small package. And if you've seen my other video about the 29 different amps I've owned over the years, go and check out that video after this one if you're more interested in learning about that. There's just no need to have all those amps. It's just ridiculous. So this is pretty much what I use here for small gigs. If I just need to plug in and play real fast, I can plug into this amp and it sounds great. Also, as you can see from my Anatomy of Tone series on my channel here, I've owned all kinds of different effects pedals over the years. And this is pretty much what I use for my standalone pedal board replacement, is the HX Effects from line 6. And I'm using the Quilter Interblock 45 as my amplifier. And as you can see, it's small, compact, and this amp is playing loud for any band situation. And then I have all the overdrive, distortion, delay, reverbs, filter effects, whatever I want. So with this and the amp, I can go anywhere in the world and rock out on any stage in any studio and get all the sounds I need in one small package. And nowadays when I record, I primarily use the headrush pedal board for all my direct guitar sounds going to front of house, or if I'm recording straight into my computer, I can dial in amp and bass tones straight from the touch screen, and I can call up different presets and make different amp and effect combinations and just push one button. There's my sound. I can push another button, change the sound, and it's all going to spill over seamlessly. So the headrush has been a great addition to my studio. And it's definitely saving my back a lot of hurt from just carrying this around versus carrying big amps and pedal boards. And as you can see over here, I do have the headrush Gigboard. And this is more of a desktop style unit. You can use it on the floor as well, but it's great to have it for recording because I can just have it right here. I can touch the screen, change the sound however I want. And do I really need the pedal board and the Gigboard at the same time for what I'm doing? Probably not. But it's great to having the Gigboard just sitting here on the desk at all times and then using the pedal board to go out and play live, whether I'm at church or I can go out and play with a band or go to a live jam or something. So both units definitely feel their niche within what I'm doing here in the studio. And then as far as recording gear goes, I've definitely broken it down to a very simple setup to where I have the PreSonus Studio Live, and it's giving me flying faders. I can add in different presets if I want to and call up different mixes. And I've always wanted something with faders because I feel like it's a lot easier to do this versus clicking on a screen and moving faders on a screen just to try to get a good headphone mix or try to get a good mix coming out of the monitors. So having the PreSonus Studio Live Series 3 board has definitely streamlined my recording process. And I'm able to get EQ and compression going into the computer as I'm recording, so I can kind of sculpt and shape the tone of the vocal or guitar or whatever I'm recording going into the computer. And that definitely saves me a lot of time when it comes time to mix. And for those situations where I need to go maybe to a location and record, and maybe just do a minimum of like 4 inputs for maybe vocals or drums or guitars or something. This is the PreSonus Studio 1810. It has plenty of inputs and outputs on the front and the back for all my microphones and line level signals. And I'm also able to record, use it with MIDI. And it's got a very, very simple USB connection to my computer. And I could throw this, my computer, and maybe a microphone or two in my backpack and go record anywhere I want. So it seems like I have a lot of stuff here in the studio, but I promise you I use it every single day, and there's really not a whole lot of extra stuff laying around that I don't use. There's always going to be a few items here and there that's kind of in the closet or on a shelf, and at that point you got to ask yourself, have I used it at all anytime in the last year? And if you haven't, you probably just need to get rid of it. You can always throw it on reverb.com or put it on eBay, or even try and sell it local on Craigslist and try and get some money out of it, and you can reinvest that back into your studio or your live setup, or just pay off bills, whatever you gotta do. But I hope this discussion has maybe opened your eyes a little bit to look around your own music room and try and figure out, okay, what do I have, what do I actually use, and what do I actually need? And then just try to compile all that stuff together and then just get rid of everything else. Once again, thanks guys for checking out this video. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And I am Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.
So why do people call me Dr. McFarland? Because I heal people with sweet rock and roll.